got news for you. My name is Charlotte Church, and later in the programme I'm looking forward to being able to read out a few made-up tabloid headlines rather than featuring in them. In the news this week, in London, a homeless person discovers the dangers of falling asleep at the top of a slight gradient. In Kent, a homeowner thinks he'd better just check if the water board got his message. And the age-old theory that pets often behave like their owners is confirmed by footage of Anne Robinson's dog. On Paul's team, a royal reporter who revealed that if she'd got her own TV show, she would dance onto the stage wearing tasteless jewellery and tight leather trousers. I think Dale Winton's beaten you to it. It's Jennie Bond. And with Ian Hislop tonight, a comedian who currently hosts a game show where the audience are shown pictures of two celebrities and asked to decide which one is better looking. Sounds like a good idea. OK, audience, vote now.
I was lucky to get 1%, wasn't I?
That's what I was about to say, lovely. Please welcome Jimmy Carr. And we start with round one. Ian and Jimmy, what's this about?
It's one of Saddam's sons robbed a bank with his father's head on the notes.
I don't think he robbed it, he just made a withdrawal, didn't he?
Yes, of the entire contents of the bank. That's the embassy. That's some people wearing towels on their heads, just to defy the stereotype. And watch this. Oh, fantastic! That's a bit of friendly fire coming George's way.
You must squeeze the chicken awfully hard.
But the top story was the bank robbery. That was terrific. It wasn't a robbery, I'm sorry. It
was a withdrawal.
One doesn't want to libel Saddam Hussein's son.
What would you do with the money if you had it?
What, with £1 billion? I'd buy Syria. Buy Syria and have another go. Did they find any weapons of mass destruction?
I'm not sure.
I think it's all been just a horrible, horrible typo. We thought that he had the A-bomb. He actually had a bomb.
A-bomb.
I thought there was proof. I thought they found some chemical weapons plant.
No, I think that's an ice cream van.
Oh. OK. Yes. This is the news from Baghdad that Saddam arranged for $1 billion to be taken from Iraq's central bank just before the war began. According to the Times, the volume of cash was so great that 3 tractors were needed to haul it off, a sight not seen since a farmer in Aberystwyth drove off with his EU subsidy.
You going home tonight?
Yes, I am. I hope so. According to the Star, US spy chiefs claim a number of our Gulf War enemies are now living in France, the best known being Jacques Chirac. Paul and Jenny, look at this.
That's Prince Charles wearing a funny hat. That's one of his houses, I presume. Is that high grade?
Oh, yes, because he had lots of builders cavorting naked and singing Engelbert Humperdinck's song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Andrew's in trouble because he's been flying around playing golf and using royal planes. That's the hearse that was used at Diana's funeral, and it's up for sale now, and Paul Burrell thinks that's very, very wrong.
Or did he not manage to get it back to his flat in time? For safekeeping. Really?
Why was Prince Andrew there? What was it all about?
Well, I think probably that's because he decided he had to go up and play a little round of golf up at St Andrews, and he was in a bit of a hurry because he had to go to Canada the next day as well, so he had to use one of the royal planes, you know, and it cost the taxpayer, well, depending which paper you read, 4,000, 10,000, something like that.
I think EasyJet do it for 45 quid.
Is that an official engagement, going to a golf club dinner?
I think, yes, it was classified as such because he's going to become chairman or something of this club.
Oh, I knew he'd find a role eventually.
Yeah.
Chairman of the golf club.
It was very official. An official business in Canada the next day, you see, so...
And what is the story about William? Because I read, obviously, in one paper something completely different from all the others. I mean, is he having a 21st birthday?
He is, and he's having a 21st birthday party.
Is Charlotte invited?
Carr. Oh.
No significant body movement there.
I just thought young people's occasion, you know, having a glass or two of Tizer or whatever they're up to.
Yes. So what's actually William's favourite chat-up line?
What did she say?
I'll be king one day, get in the bed. Why bother with anything else? Doesn't need anything else, does it? Look at the stats, that's my mum. Get them off.
Have you heard his chat-up line, then?
Oh, no, but
Yes, I know.
here, on this little card, it says, "Hi, I'm the future king, wanna pull?"
You tried it on me.
Really?
Do you fancy him, Charlotte?
No, no.
You don't?
No.
You prefer the kind of, bit of rough, maybe Harry?
No, neither of them, really. Neither of them are my type.
Ray, no, you want
unfortunately.
someone who's equivalent level of richness, really, don't you?
Prince Philip.
No,
What about,
that's
what about Saddam? He's got a few quid.
It's worse. Yes, this is another ordinary week in the life of the royals. A group of builders went on a drunken escapade in the grounds of Highgrove, some even streaking. Charles was said to be shocked. Can't think why. He's seen Camilla in the nude.
That's heading towards ageist from you.
Ian and Jimmy, what's this about? Holy Spartans, it's the Kent Crusader.
I think it's the big story of the week. It's a man dressing up as Batman in Tunbridge Wells.
And we've actually got a picture of it, which we should see. There we are.
Fantastic, and he's using the crossing.
He's probably quite good friends with the Green Cross Code man.
This is a very heartwarming story, and particularly for anyone who's been to Tunbridge Wells.
You live near Tunbridge Wells, don't you?
I do!
I know.
No, I think it's terrific. Next time in Tunbridge Wells, if I'm, I don't know, surrounded by rowdy youths,
Yes.
Or the Joker, perhaps.
or the Joker is attacking me and trying to take my wallet, on comes this man. No, apparently in the local paper, a whole load of people wrote in saying, "This brilliant man, I was having trouble being pestered by 3 young people," and along came the Cape Crusader and said, "Go! Leave this person alone." And they all said, "Blimey, it's Batman," and they ran off.
Superman runs a kebab shop in Lewisham. X-ray vision just heats up the meat as it turns on.
Yes, this is the news that Batman is alive and well and fighting crime in Tunbridge Wells. One woman who was rescued by Batman said she was about to call the police, but there was some idiot in the phone box putting his underpants on over his trousers. Anyway, Paul and Jenny, your turn again. Pussy galore.
Oh, yes, this is the story of the cat. Its owner died and left this cat £450,000.
That is right. What was the cat's name?
Lucky.
No.
Tinker.
Yes,
Tinker.
it-
Didn't they get a house as well?
Yes, I think he did get a house. So why is it ironic that he inherited a house?
Because he hasn't got a key. There's no cat flap.
It's actually, according to the neighbour who looks after him, he doesn't like coming home much.
Oh, well.
Unless, of course, he's secretly fighting crime in the Tunbridge Wells.
It's a shocking indictment on the state of our con men in this country, isn't it?
It is.
An old woman sort of left that money. She should have given that away years ago. Some unscrupulous double glazing salesman should have had that.
But the neighbours, they've got to look after the cat
Yeah, this is.
for its natural life, and then they inherit the money.
Yeah, I give that cat about a week.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be a reversing in the drive accident?
I mean, I don't know what the cat's going to do with the money. Presumably spend it on, woolen balls and cat food, and
Yeah.
probably blow the rest.
Well, it's a trust fund.
What's he going to do next, according to The Guardian?
Invest it in Huntingdon Life Sciences.
Have you made a will, Charlotte?
I don't think so.
Because you'll be coming into a bit of money next year, is it? Next year?
Yeah, next year. But it's still going to be like... it's not going to be in a trust fund, but it's still going to be looked after by the same people, so I still won't really be able to get my hands on it.
And where do these people who look after your money live?
In London.
Oh, it's not Rio de Janeiro then, or...
No.
Because 450 is chick feed, really, isn't it? We're talking 16 million, aren't we?
No.
No? Too
You
little?
read too many papers.
I do.
No, it's nowhere near as much as that. I have to pay 40% tax, everything.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yes. Don't agree with it because I can't vote. I can't vote, so why should I pay a government who I don't necessarily support?
That's a good point.
40%.
I think it's to do with schools and hospitals and public services. I mean, it's just
Ooh.
Now, anyway.
That's you and
What's she gonna
Jeffrey
do with
Archer
my
lining up on that one.
Yes, this is the cat Tinker who has left nearly £500,000 in his owner's will. The ever-responsible Daily Mirror reprinted the will, but was careful to blank out the actual number of the house, forcing any would-be burglar to look at the photo next to it. Ian and Jimmy, your turn again for J-Lo Bingo Lingo.
J-Lo, a type of low-fat yogurt, I believe.
Yes. Yes, delicious.
No, I know who J-Lo is.
Do you?
No.
She's got the big booty.
The big booty?
Yeah.
What, she's raided a bank?
She's got a massive arse.
Oh, I see.
That's apparently quite a fashionable thing. I seem to remember that was awful a few years ago. People with fat asses, but now, all the rage.
Really big, right?
Bums are the new tits, Ian. This is Butlins, isn't it? Desperately trying to be a bit youth culture. And they've decided to change the bingo calling.
Any guesses
things.
on any of the numbers? What about 15?
15 is... Oh, 15 was in the papers. It was something like...
Stroppy teen.
It was 15 stroppy
Stroppy teen. I wonder why that came up.
What about 32? Yeah, I know. It's my favourite, my personal favourite. What about 32?
Isn't it Jimmy Choo shoes?
It's Jimmy Choo 32.
How many people are in Butlins wearing Jimmy Choo shoes?
A list to
The
me.
mistake they make with bingo is trying to make it rhyme, trying to make, you know, the preamble rhyme. You don't need to just say all the fours, pissed. 7, vodka.
But what's J-Lo then?
It's J-Lo's bum, 21.
Oh, I see, sorry.
I think it's actually J-Lo's bum 71.
Well, hush my mouth.
But I...
You're rear of the year, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you and J-Lo, eh?
Yeah.
And they said in the papers that you didn't like your bottom. You said it was...
No, I do. No, I love my bum. I can't believe I'm talking about this and have I got news for you. This is wrong. No, but no, I do like my bum. Yeah. Anyway.
I don't think young people should have bums. Far too young for that sort of thing. When you're 18, you should get all your money and a bum.
I don't know. Anyway, this is the desperate attempt by Butlins to update bingo by applying new bingo calls to all the numbers. 84 will be known as Dumbledore, whereas in the old days they used to shout out 7 dozen. Blimey, that's not a bingo call, that's an A-level question.
Are you doing A-levels?
No, I wanted to just get on with my career. I really like to go to university or something, though. I really would like...
Well, you don't have to have A-levels nowadays, do you?
No.
Because last time you were on
Then
the show, you'd done GCSEs.
Yeah. Loads of people leave school and now at 16. Loads
A
of
lot of them don't have
people.
international singing careers.
And the new list of bingo calls, Beck's back is number 7. Presumably there's also 22, Posh's IQ.
From someone who decided not to do A-levels.
I know. Did anybody do the national IQ test?
No, but I've got 4 A-levels.
Did you really get 4 A-levels? Or have you included general studies?
Of course I'm including general studies.
Just pathetic. Sorry, do carry on.
Did you do general studies?
Yes, but nobody includes it. Well, like saying I got cycling proficiency.
Well, I did, and I'm proud.
I got 25 yards breaststroke, but only the theory.
Surprisingly liberal school.
Paul and Jenny, it's your turn again. The new model police force.
Oh, now, this is attempts by the police who are trying to make themselves more sort of user-friendly towards teenagers and children in general, and they produce a sort of action man figure. There's a policeman, basically. It's a policeman in uniform, and it has a retractable truncheon and a selective memory. Oh, there's a picture of it there.
Oh, look at it. That's quite cute.
He's
isn't
got
it?
all the gadgets, hasn't he?
He has.
The sort of thing you'd expect a policeman to carry around with him, a fire hydrant. Mobile fish tank. Oh, there he is in action, look.
Yeah, you can stage your own riot in your bedroom.
Yeah, there's a tie-in with the bill, so...
What, the Bill going to advertise it during...
I think they're going to start making the bill with these toys. The production budget,
Yeah,
significantly.
and certainly the acting quality is going to go up.
Apparently, they're going to open a shop at Heathrow and they're going to sell Scotland Yard memorabilia. Yes, apparently so.
What, like bits of evidence?
At the end of that round, a quick look at the scores shows us that Ian and Jimmy have 6 and Paul and Jenny have 6. As revealed in every single newspaper this week, Tony Blair was 50 on Tuesday, so as he nears the end of his life, it's time to look back on the 50 glorious years.
Lucky that guitar's in the picture.
So stand by for a tantalising test of Tony trivia. Fingers on the buzzers. What has Jacques Chirac given him for his birthday?
Wine. 6 bottles of wine.
Yes, you're right. For an extra point,
It's poisonous.
not quite. What did William Hague suggest would be a good present? Yes.
The next election.
Didn't you hear this?
No, I missed it.
It was a lie detector machine.
Oh, very amusing.
Yeah, I
How very droll.
The good thing about that story is that if Blair wants to drink it, under parliamentary rules, he has to pay up, which is about 900 quid. So
Yes.
essentially, Chirac sent him a fine.
When he was told that William Hague had suggested giving him a lie detector as a present, Tony Blair replied, "That's very funny," setting it off immediately. Next question. During an interview with Tony Blair for Vanity Fair magazine last week... What?
Alistair Campbell interrupted.
That's not the question.
Oh, really? Well, then I should
Interrupted the
be
interview
fined.
was saying,
The interviewer was saying,
we don't do what?
we don't do God.
Yeah.
You seem to be unduly upset when he gets one right.
I know!
Don't be sad.
I'm sorry. I just wanted the lady on the team to win.
Oh, right.
Well, if
She
you
will.
before you've asked a question, you should then sort of take their first answer.
Yeah, that's true. I don't even think you got that point. Well, we can change it. Anyway.
It's just like remarking GCSEs, isn't it? Just whack it up a few grades.
Mr. Blair told Vanity Fair that he hadn't actually discussed the existence of God with President Bush, although there was a rather awkward conversation about Santa Claus. Next question. What surprised Tony Blair when he was crossing the tarmac to board a plane in 1998? Yes.
He wasn't at the airport.
He was told to turn off his mobile phone, but he was actually on the phone to the Queen at the time, and he apparently said, "I'm sorry, I'll have to get back to you." The Queen was annoyed when her mobile phone call had to be cut short. "With the greatest respect, Your Majesty, send him a text."
I suppose that's what they call a one-to-one.
Okay. Next. And when he was at school, what did he used to do with his hair? Yes.
Feed it to hamsters.
No.
A ponytail.
He used to put butter on it and tuck it into the back of his collar so that it would look short and he wouldn't have to have it cut.
That is exactly right.
I know.
Everything about the man.
Isn't he
I don't know what's
just
sadder, him
Mastermind.
doing it or me knowing it.
Maybe you should try it now, just in case he gets his head stuck up George Bush's ass. A lot of anti-Tony jokes tonight, anti-Blairs, aren't there?
Yeah, there are.
I know, I feel quite sorry for them. When Tony Blair was at Oxford, in what way was he associated with the names Emily and Miranda? Yes.
Did he play them in productions of Shakespeare? Was he Miranda? He'd have been lovely.
No.
Oh, brave new world that has such things in it.
No.
Were they his imaginary friends?
No.
Did he solve crimes as Emily and Miranda?
I don't think so, no.
He wasn't disguised as two women. It wasn't like there used to be a sort of spotlight in the sky, a silhouette of two women. It was a call for Emily and Miranda. And he would run in at so much speed that people would say, was that a single man or was that Emily and Miranda?
Do you want to know?
Yep.
Okay, they were his two nicknames.
Really?
Yeah, and
He had two nicknames?
I think it was probably because of his long hair. Anyway, and finally, who interrupted a meeting of the War Cabinet recently by wheeling a trolley?
He knows it.
Leo.
Yes, it was. For an extra point, what did he say?
He said, I'm not sure you've really convinced the country, Tony, because, you know, the weapons of mass destruction, you haven't found them, have you? He's quite a bright toddler, Leo.
Leo wheeled a trolley into the cabinet meeting and said, "Look, I've brought your fruit," at which point John Prescott clipped him round the ear and said, "Go and get us some donuts." At the end of all that, the scores have moved on to... Oh, Paul and Jennie have 6.
Still.
But Ian and Jimmy have 11. Round Round 3 is all about picking the odd one out. Ian and Jimmy, your favourites are Janet Street Porter, A Bat, Jerry Springer and Newsnight.
This is about opera.
Ooh,
What, the...
that was quick.
It's Jerry Springer, the opera. There's an opera coming up called Newsnight, the opera.
Are you referring to A Bat Out of Hell, the opera?
Yes, starring Meatloaf.
Yeah. Probably not, then.
No, there's an opera called Die Fledermaus. So they're all the names of opera except Janet Street Porter.
That is exactly right.
So why is she the odd one out?
Because she's Janet Street Porter is recently commissioned a play about Janet Street Porter, and she's not involved in any opera, whereas all the rest of them
She's
are.
commissioned to play about herself?
She's commissioned to play about herself, yes.
That's incredibly self-absorbed, isn't
It
it?
really is, yeah. Jerry Springer, the opera, has just opened in London to rave reviews. The opera is traditional in many ways, although in this instance it's not over till the fat lady beats up her husband for sleeping with her skinny sister. Paul and Jennie, listen.
Well, the second one along the top is the one with the arrow. I think it's probably Frank Sinatra. There was a moment of that. The one with the beard, it looks like Tchaikovsky. I didn't recognise it as Tchaikovsky, but is it Tchaikovsky?
It's Tchaikovsky.
Right. So who's the fourth one?
Oh, that's easy. Can we play the fourth one again, please?
That's thingy. My daughter plays it all the time, and I can't remember what it is.
Can you phone your daughter up?
Bring her.
You know who that is?
I don't know who it
Who
is.
does know who that is?
Why?
She's gonna
Who's
kill
got those white teeth? Think American.
George Bush?
Think American pop princess.
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, exactly.
So,
Ross
Diana
Sinatra.
Ross, Frank Sinatra, Tchaikovsky and Britney Spears.
Do you want a clue?
Yes,
I think you
please.
should have when
Yeah.
we're back in Iraq.
Oh, this was what
Yeah.
they found in Tariq Aziz's flat or house.
Right.
They found his CD collection. He was a very cultured man, obviously, apart from that particular one.
Yes, but you still haven't got it right. You need to find the other one out.
Go on, that's Tchaikovsky.
No.
No, he was there. The
Frank
obvious-
Sinatra.
No.
Britney Spears.
The answer is they are all pieces of music that were found in the CD collection of former Iraqi Deputy Prime Minister Tariq Aziz, except Britney Spears, although her posters were plastered over the walls in one of Saddam's palaces. So what are Britney's management trying to do with her at the moment?
Killer.
Not quite. They're actually trying to shift the tension away from personal gossip. Is that ever going to happen?
And what is the personal gossip?
The personal gossip, well, you've got the whole thing with her and a split from Justin. Now, see, this is my part of the show, all
Yeah.
the now it's
Go
just
on then, yeah.
crap at that.
So do you think that's true then, that she split with Justin?
Yeah, they've talked about it. Both of them have talked about it openly in interviews.
Who's she with?
So that's not... so...
Oh, she's been with a string of guys. Moving on, in relation to Diana Ross, what's this?
Oh, this is... She got pulled over, wasn't she, for sort of drunk driving?
Yes, she was stopped by the police for driving erratically and asked to write out the alphabet and numbers from 1 to 30. Pretty pitiful effort, really.
She did well up to 20, then she sort of started to get overconfident.
And what's Frank Sinatra's next release to be, according to The Sun?
I thought he was dead.
He is dead, but it was recorded before his death.
Is it a death rattle?
Go back to the 80s. This song was banned, I believe, or the video.
Relax.
It was Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Frank Sinatra recorded a version of Relax.
Apparently, according to The Sun.
Do you think that's what killed him?
Saddam is not the only participant in the Gulf War with a Britney connection, the most popular song among American bomber pilots being Oops, I Did It Again. When asked if she'd like to marry Prince William, Britney replied, who wouldn't? She obviously hasn't met the in-laws. I have. Missing Words is the final round featuring this week's guest publication, Heat magazine. It's a magazine for young people, Ian. So, here we go. Tories should not confuse what with what.
Margarine with dynamite. Makes your sandwiches blow up.
IDS with leadership.
I think this is Relief with Joy.
It is Relief with Joy. What found on London streets?
Minicab driver who knows where he's going. 10-foot pigeon dressed as Hitler.
Do you think you're going to get this one?
Do you?
No, I really
don't.
don't, so I'm just going to tell you, it was 14 dictators.
So Hitler was in there.
This was to publicise a West End show about Saddam, and
yes.
14 people turned up to audition.
More like a Frank Spencer parade, isn't it?
Anyway, who's had what and who hasn't?
Breakfast.
Oh, boob job.
Yes.
Pete.
According to Heat magazine,
Fascinating
Jordan's had 3 operations to boost her breasts from a B cup to an F cup. She would
How
have
many
had
breasts has she got?
only 2.
Well, why she had 3 operations then?
I think they
she
had
just-
to do it step by step.
Really? Doesn't she
Yeah.
just go for the last page of the catalogue and said, I'll have that, I won't bother?
Well, actually, she would have had more, but she's not sure what the next letters are.
Oh, that's...
And finally, Galloway paid in cash for what?
Recipe of cough syrup.
Think more exotic.
Recipe for cough syrup.
Think dance.
It was
dance.
belly dancer.
Yes.
It was a story in one of the Sunday papers. I've no idea if it's true or not.
Yes, it was. It was. It was a belly dance.
Charlotte, is there something you want to tell us?
No.
Have you been making money on the side?
That brings us to the end of tonight's contest, and the final scores are as follows. Paul and Jenny have 9, but Ian and Jimmy have 18.
Well done.
Before we go, there's just time for a quick caption competition.
Spot the trampoline competition.
It's the woman in the middle saying, it's times like this, I wish I'd packed my own parachute.
Thank you.
Japanese men holding... Look at all the piss we got out of this fish.
That was unnecessary.
Somebody stunned this fish, he started eating me salad.
And I leave you with news that there are fears that the Archbishop of Canterbury's laser eye surgery may not have been a success. In a coalition field hospital, there's finally proof Saddam had biological weapons as medics treat the victims of trained Iraqi seagulls. And backstage at an awards ceremony, a former neighbour asked Catherine Zeta-Jones if she has any plans to come back and live in Swansea. Good night.